The topic is generating free real estate leads with Facebook Marketplace. So that's the main topic. But I do have some additional things that one was at the request of an agent who saw a reel that I posted yesterday. So I'm going to just share a brief overview of how I created that reel just because he asked, and I figured why not answer one-to-many versus one-to-one. And I want to lead off with something that has worked incredibly well that many of you have already requested. But if you haven't, or you didn't get it, or whatever, this is the doc with a script that Mike used in the last 2 weeks to set over 100 appointments. Okay, so the specific script that Mike used is right here, the one in the middle. Morning, Eric. If we could show you how to buy a home with zero money down, would you be available for a quick chat sometime this week? Okay. Now, how do we make good on zero money down? In Central PA, we have USDA. A lot of our market qualifies for USDA. We have FHA with down payment assistance. And our mortgage team at Nexa Mortgage, we have some phenomenal down payment assistance program options. We have a conventional zero down or 100% financing option as well. And of course, VA. Now, not everybody will qualify for VA, but those are 4 legitimate options for helping folks buy with zero money down. Okay. If you don't want to use that script, the good news is this: there's a whole bunch of different variations where we know that this script works very well. It's a framework. You can fill in the blank. If we could show you, would you be available for a quick chat? The other way is you could reverse it and say, morning, Mike, would you be open and available for a quick chat with one of our new construction specialists, whatever the case may be. Okay. Now, we've talked about this. We had Smarty on a few weeks ago now, but I want to highlight this again because we have more and more people interested. We're finding more and more success with it, and we continue to improve and iterate on it, which is Smarty's Go High Level CRM solution. Okay. If you haven't already, I'd highly recommend you check out the demo. The link is in the page here, and at least consider it. And one of the things that we've been collaborating with Smarty on is getting our templates and scripts in the CRM. So you can more easily and seamlessly launch a script like this. Or if you scroll to page 2, this is a great seller script that we've used recently as well. So if you have homeowners in your database, whether they're past clients or sphere of influence, or they requested a free home valuation or whatever, in some way, shape, or form, you've identified them as a local homeowner. Hi, Chris, would you be open and available for a quick chat about the market value of your property at street address? Okay, so that's a great script as well. So I would highly recommend you use those and get some results, get yourself some appointments, and take action. Let's see here. Are you using this with Smarty's bot? Francine, we didn't yet, this script yet. And here's why. We are starting with the seller side or the listing side with Smarty's CRM. And because anytime you transition CRMs, let's face it, let's be real, it's not an easy transition, right? So we're like moving in phases with it. So on the buyer side, we're still using KV Core, and just transparently, a good many of the appointments that Mike set were in other people's databases. We have Realtor relationships and Realtor referral partners where we do some of this implementation for them. So the goal is to have everything moved over to Smarty's CRM by the end of this year or Q1. But for now, it's listing focus. It's listing focus, which, by the way, we got a seller right before going on here about a half an hour ago to raise their hand, a pre-foreclosure lead here in my market that is open to offers. And that came, we were using the Smarties CRM to get that. So great question, Francine. I appreciate that. Harry, yes, CRM switching is always painful, no doubt. And Francine said you're doing the same. KV Core for buyers and Smarty for sellers. Yes. Again, our goal is to get everything over there so that we can work from one central location, but it's a process. It's not something that's going to happen overnight.
Hey, Josh, do you want to try hitting the live, see if it works now? I think I might have got it.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. Where is it? I don't see it now.
I didn't see it either.
What happened? Oh, yeah, see, okay, I'm going to stop and I'm going to try again. I'm going to stop and then live streaming. We'll see if it works. And if not, again, we'll get the replay up in the group. We'll have the full recording for everybody as well. Mike, just keep an eye on that and let us know. For those of you who were here last week, we were supposed to have a special guest. He was sick, Scott Pierce with Listings to Leads. We have him rescheduled for next week. I thought we had a great session regardless. Carrie Thompson shared some great stuff. We actually got into using Listings to Leads. I actually used the listing presentation printout with a lead yesterday, an old expired that we also converted into an opportunity with Smarties CRM. And I would say we use Listings to Leads almost on a daily basis. Scott will be joining us next Wednesday, but what I wanted to do today, for several reasons, is share what we're doing with Facebook Marketplace to generate free real estate leads. And here's really what prompted me to share this. I've been using Marketplace for years. I got banned for a period of 2 or 3 years, quite honestly. So when I reactivated my license, I was, for lack of a better term, I was spamming Facebook Marketplace to get clients. And it worked until they said, yeah, you're breaking our terms of service and we're going to ban you. I applied for reinstatement every 3 to 6 months. And finally, they reinstated me. And we've been back using Marketplace since about a year ago, I think, is when we got reinstated. But we're trying to follow the terms of service a little bit better. And we still push the issue a little bit. And I'll get into what I mean by that. So Marketplace has been a source of clients for us. And what prompted me to want to share this is from a slight tweak, a little something different I started doing with the ads last week. At the beginning of last week, I've gotten 3 inbound phone calls on top of the people messaging, on top of the lead flow from Marketplace. People literally seeing a Marketplace ad and picking up the phone and calling me. So that's what prompted me to share this specifically again today. So what I plan to do is this. Number one, I'm going to drop this link in the chat. Now, we'll probably have to make some updates to this because I haven't even updated this. I haven't even updated this with the couple little tweaks that I've been using with these ads here, these Facebook Marketplace listings. But I'm going to share that there, and then I'm going to follow the process. I'm like, literally, you're just going to watch over my shoulder. I'm going to post a listing that it went coming soon yesterday. It's going live tomorrow morning. And I'm just going to do it soup to nuts here, how I create the listings to leads, how I import it into listings to leads, how we post it to Facebook, and everything that we incorporate with the process here. So is that cool? Do we have any questions before we get rolling with that? Okay, so I am using my own listing for this. However, a lot of the listings that I have posted, okay, we have a number of posted. This is my listing. This is an EXP listing. In Pennsylvania, we have an open policy that any EXP listings we can promote. I don't need to have permission to promote other EXP listings. This one, I think, is also an EXP area. I think these 2 are EXPers. This is my own. And one other strategy that I have used to borrow listings is I have blanket approval from a couple of local builders that I can promote their listings on social media. Okay, so your own listings, if you have an open listing policy, or I don't even know what the technical term is, that in your brokerage where you can borrow or with permission, or just reach out to local builders, which I think we have in the document here, Mike. I think we have even the email that, Would it be okay if we advertise your new home listings on our social media with required attribution, of course, Okay. And honestly, sometimes I haven't gotten a no on this. I have gotten some that they never reply and I have to send it again and whatever, but I've had pretty good success specifically on new home listings with this, right? Today, though, I'm going to use one of my own listings. So I'm going to log into my listings to leads. And now if once the listing goes live, if you have it set up and integrated, it will automatically pull in your new listings once it goes live. It does not do that, at least in our MLS. It doesn't do it if it's coming soon. So I'm going to manually input the listing as coming soon so we can use that. Actually, yeah, I'm going to do that, but I'll give you some workarounds if you're not using listings to leads or if you don't want to use listings to leads. I'll give you some thoughts or ideas on what a workaround might be for that, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and add listing, and I'm going to do manual, and I'm going to choose coming soon. Are you allowed to do coming soon marketing? So it's just making sure that you're not breaking the law, like listings to leads. They want to avoid any liability. It's 120 Pine Road, Mount Holly Springs, PA 17065. It's 250,000. It is we don't need that. It is 4 beds, 1 full bath, 1 half bath. 4, I think, is the living space, and 0.33, and it's an old house. I'm going to go and grab from my MLS description. For those wondering, I will post 1 or 2 marketplace listings a week, generally speaking, and it's one of my early morning activities, right? Before we can be texting or calling or whatever. It's something I do where I can get some marketing out into the interwebs so that can get to work for me while I go and do other work. This is my coming soon listing here. I'm going to grab the description, pop it there. Whoops. For some reason, and it does tell you, I don't know why this works this way, but if you copy and paste it from something like this, it like jacks it up. You got to paste it into a text editor and then copy it from plain text and post it there, and then it works. I don't know why. Okay, so I'm going to upload my images. We just got the professional photos back yesterday, I think yesterday morning. So I'm going to choose all of those, which again, once it actually goes live, it automatically feeds this in. Or if you go and grab a listing, you get approval. Depending on if we have time, I may show you some of the other ways that I do this, depending on time and questions. Like I may go grab one that I can borrow and pull that in just to show you how that differs for those that might be curious. And then I'll also, one thing I'll definitely do is, what do you do if you don't have or don't want to use listings to leads for this? While this is uploading, here's why I use listings to leads for this. I've tried. For example, the KB Core gives you a link for a single property link, and I've used that with this process, and it doesn't get as many leads for whatever reason. Like it gets actually no leads through that portal. It doesn't, like people will still message you, but it doesn't get people opting in. Okay, it doesn't get people opting in for whatever reason. I started playing around with listings to leads, and it has worked. It has worked wonderfully for this process. And it gives me multiple ways to capture a lead. So after I create one of these, I'll show you, you'll see that there's 5 different ways that someone could become a lead for you. And you're letting them choose their preferred path to coming into your web, let's say. I'm going to assume this is taking a while. This does not normally take this long, but anytime we're zooming and screen sharing, it seems to bog things down. Also, let me make sure. Okay, I am on the right internet. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to save. Not a big deal here. I'm going to select the main, and I'm going to save and start marketing. Okay, so now I have my, did listens to leads help me get this? No. So now I can go to market listing, and I've got some different things that I can use with this process, okay? That's just step one, right? Now, you're going to find your own way with this. And I would start with the process that we've seen that works well. You're going to find your own sort of flow if you do this enough. The first thing I like to do, we use this free app called Free Photo Branding. I guess it's photobrand.io now, but it points to the same thing. It's a great app by Chris and Levi Jones. We've had some collaborations with them. It's free. It's a simple thing. I'm sure there are other similar platforms that you could use with this. You could use Canva for it. This just makes it super easy to do what I'm going to show you real quick here, which is help us create a, oh, what the heck? All right, hold on. I thought I had my login. Maybe I'm, oh, never fails. I was doing it this morning. Maybe it's under this one. Oh boy. Okay, hold on. Let me try maybe a different email. Create new account. Yes, I know. I'm trying to log in. Try this one. Geez, Louise. Sorry about that. I don't know why it wasn't letting me in. I literally used it yesterday without problems. Never fails, right? Live streaming. I'm going to go here. I'm going to select. With this marketplace protocol, I don't ever include more than 3, maybe 4 photos of the property. Okay, just a few photos, because one of the reasons why someone may opt in or request more information is for all of the photos. Okay, so I'm going to choose 3 photos that we're going to use with this. Let me just see which ones I want to use. Do that. And okay, I'm going to click open. So I've got 3 photos that I'm going to use. And then the whole point of this tool is it's a simple way to overlay a call to action on it. Okay, so for all pics, floor plan, and more, text JS 120P to. Now, I'm using my smart number and a smart code in there. But honestly, if you don't have that, just tell people to text a code to your cell phone and you'll know what that code is. And then you can manually follow up with them, right? If you don't have the automation to do this, if you don't have Smarties CRM, if you don't have a KV Core or something similar, just, I remember we had somebody on one of these sessions, geez, probably 2-3 years ago now, who had been getting, actually, this is part of what inspired this marketplace. She was using a lot of what I'm showing you here with Craigslist in her market. And she would do this very thing, but she would just put her cell phone. And listen, in real estate, what do we want? We want to be able to have an inbound conversation with someone who has interest and motivation. Who cares how you have to get to that point? Just use whatever you've got. Okay. I've got this functionality, so I'm going to use it. I set up the smart number this morning. If someone texts that, I set it up so that it sends them the link from my MLS, because I can't send them a KV Core link yet, because it doesn't, just like listings to leads doesn't auto pull it in. It doesn't show up in KV Core until it's actually active on the market. Okay. So I just pop that in there and I download these 3 images. Okay. So I am now going to go over, and again, this is just peek over my shoulder at how I do this. So I'm going to put these, I'm going to have 2 tabs open with my marketplace. Do that. I'm going to do, create new listing, home for sale or rent. I'm going to add photos. I'm going to choose these 3 photos. And here's the little tweak. And honestly, so this is how I used to, before I got banned, I would use what I'm about to show you. The problem is I wasn't actually promoting a listing. I was just creating like a lead generation post, and I was breaking their terms of service. But what I'm going to add in here is a couple more images that are very direct calls to action. Just have to find them here. Yeah. Okay. These are images I made with Canva. We'll give them to you, or give you the whatever. They're not anything overly fancy. And they're more direct calls to action. Did you know there are at least 4 options available right now to buy a home with 0 down payment? Interested, shoot me a DM. And we have we've got a rent to own or lease purchase option available in our market. And we have a rent-to-own lease purchase extraordinaire, James Brown, in our midst as well. So we have strategies. If we have someone with motivation and they just can't quite qualify traditionally right now, we might be able to help them with a rent-to-own or lease option potential. And on this property in particular, it's a good fit, price range, and so forth. Okay. So you can use different calls to action with these, but here, this specifically has been a huge reason why people are picking up the phone and calling me from these advertisements. Okay. So that's the images. We're going to go for sale. We're going to go property type. It's a house, not a townhome. It's 4 bedrooms. It's 1.5 baths. Price. Okay. Now, here's where you have some options. I have used $1. When you do that, you do get people that aren't real happy that you're putting $1. So part of our promotional process here is sharing this listing into local groups. And when you do that, you will get more leads, you'll get more messages through Facebook Messenger, etc., but you'll also get some hate comments. Okay? Choose as you wish. So I'm going to show you the 3 different ways we've done the pricing, and you can test and play with them however you like. We've done $1. I've taken the price and lopped off the 100,000s and gone 250. When you do $1 or when you do 250, or if you do 2,500, the problem is, if you look here, it says 250 per month. So Facebook is assuming and converting it into a monthly payment. That's why you get people hating, and you get some people, you will get people that are tire kickers that are wanting to rent or whatever. So you have to make that determination. Do I want as many replies and leads as possible and I'll filter through? Or do I want fewer responses from people that are more likely the right fit? So recently, that's what I had been doing for, honestly, the last year, is the $1 or the 250. I have recently switched to putting the full price, in part because layering on these images with direct calls to action means I'm getting people that are reaching out, even if it's not the right price range or whatever, right? They're curious. So I'm like, and honestly, I was just sick, and I don't know why. It's actually saying per month, but it won't say that when we actually go live with it. And then I'm also getting fewer hate comments. So that's a good thing. Property address. Again, this is your call. You could put the specific address. What I usually do is I'll choose the zip code and I'll populate the city or the township or whatever, but I won't put the specific street address. Totally your call. Property description. This is why I brought this up, because I try to be as efficient as possible. I'll just go to one of my existing listings. I'll go edit listing, and there we go. I'm going to copy my current listing description and paste it in here. And you want to make sure that you've got it as you want it there. And then the one thing I'm going to change is the link to my listings to lead page. So I'm going to go, and the one that I use, when you use listings to leads, it will create several different pages for you, like a single property website or what's more of a lead capture page. This is the page that's more of a lead capture page. So I'm going to copy it. I'll paste it so you can see what it looks like. Okay. And you can see that they can log in with Facebook or continue with Facebook. So I'm going to grab that and I'm going to replace this link with that. And I put right at the top, for sale, not for rent. You will still get people that message you thinking it's a rental. This is part of the game, right? These are free leads, and there are people that you can have a conversation with. That's a good thing. To get all details, current pricing, and photos, and I'm going to actually floor plan. The professional photo company that we use locally here, they give us a nice looking PDF floor plan. So if you have that or something along those lines, I think that's helpful, right? For people to be able to see that information. It's a good additional hook. And to search all properties in Central PA for free, go to, and then the link. I tell them to copy and paste it in the browser because it doesn't hyperlink in the listings. They don't hyperlink. Okay. It's just, I don't know. It's Facebook not wanting to, I do know. It's Facebook not wanting to send people off of Facebook. That's why it's not hyperlink, right? So you tell them copy and paste in the browser. And then this is where I'm getting people calling and texting me directly, or you can call or text me at, and that's my personal cell phone. And then I put this is my smart number here. I probably should make those congruent, but whatever. And I have mixed in here, don't forget to ask me about owner financing and rent to own options. P.S. Did you know right now? So I'm weaving in those same calls to action that are in these images as well. Okay. Square footage, 2234, I think. Laundry and unit, parking, garage. No, there is not central air, central heating. Then we're going to click next. Now, this is where, if you're going to do this process, you have to belong to some local groups, and by some, a lot. Because if you just post it on Facebook Marketplace, you might get some activity. But if you layer on listing them into local groups, buy and sell groups, yard sale groups, and the like, you get way more activity. You get way more eyeballs on there. And if you're going to do the work, you might as well give yourself that opportunity. So I'm going to go through here. I will, generally speaking, choose 5 to 10-ish, sometimes a little bit more. So I'm going to choose that one. And for those of you that don't know, I'm in Central PA. It's a rural area. We're also there's an East Shore and a West Shore. I live right on the border. So half of these are like East Shore groups. Half of these are more West Shore groups. So you just have to figure out what makes the most sense for your market and demographic. So here's a West Shore. And some of these are just generally Central PA. So I'll choose some of those. I also have some that are like houses for rent / sale, Pennsylvania. One that's Central PA, houses for sale, rent to own. So let's choose a couple more here. Choose one, choose that one, and publish. Now, once it publishes, you can boost your listing. I would not do that. I would not do that. I have tried it. This is the one that I just posted. Okay. And you can boost the listing. Okay. I have gotten some people that messaged, and I would call them legitimate leads. The problem is I get as much or more of those stupid Facebook messages that say your page is in violation of blah, blah, blah. I don't even know what the scam is with that. And so it just becomes more annoying than anything. And it's defeating the purpose of using a free platform to generate you no-cost opportunities. So I would say proceed with caution if you want to try that, right? If you want to try it on 1 or 2, go right ahead. Me personally, I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze as far as that goes. Okay, questions about any part of this process. And then I'm going to share a couple more thoughts on this and then pivot to a slightly different
Hey, I've got one.
topic. Yeah, go ahead, Fernando.
So you're using listings to leads. The link that it generates is generating more leads for you compared to the KV Core. Is that what I
I've
understand?
gotten 0 through KV Core. 0. Gotten hundreds through the KV Core or with the listings lead link.
We're doing the same thing, and we're getting low quality ones
Through KV Core?
Yeah, we're using the KV Core link.
And the fact that you're getting anything is encouraging to me. When we were using it, we literally got nothing through that way. So if you look at this, there are a number of ways that this can generate a lead. Okay. I'm just going to point out the obvious. Number 1, the text call to action. Number 2, this is another encouragement to send a message. So we got the text call to action, send a message. We've got the URL in the description. Now they do have to copy and paste that, but people do. We get leads through that portal all the time. And they can call or text me directly because I've got my cell phone in there. I thought there was a 5th way that I wasn't thinking, but they can comment. So you'll get notified if people comment on the post, so they can message or they can comment. I don't get a ton of people comment other than when I do the $1 and they either, I get the smarty ones that are like, oh, $1, I'll take it. Or the people yelling, put the real price.
This
Or
is a scam.
yeah. Which honestly, let's face it, it is. So which you used to be able to not put anything in the price.
Right.
So you used to be able to leave it blank,
Yeah.
but you can't do that anymore. But let's face it, like the reason why people will respond to an ad like this is they want to see all the photos, so they want more information, or they want the price, right? So I've just found that I'm going to put the full price and use other means of curiosity to get people to reply. And Fernando, I didn't mean to cut you off. Did you have something else?
Yeah. I just, I wanted to add to that. You're filtering through, to your point earlier, you're getting better quality leads and people that are highly looking in that price point.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. You'll get fewer people, but maybe better or more qualified.
So
James.
are you keeping track of the results on the text while you're overlaying your call to action in the picture or the image? Are you guys getting more activity that way, or people clicking on the link?
The reason, so what prompted me to want to share this is since I started doing this last week, we've started to get inbound phone calls.
Right.
So it's my only evidence is the fact that I've gotten several phone calls since I started switching to, or since I started including images that have the call to action embedded as well.
Got it. Cool. Okay. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you, James.
Are you also using listings to leads to just run a straight paid ad also?
Yes.
Okay.
In most cases, let's say, I not necessarily on every single listing, but we will be launching one for this. And we have documentation on that. But that's another reason why I love listings to leads. It makes it easier for you to launch a lead ad to generate listings from your own leads. And you can do it with whether it's your listing or if you have permission with your broker's listings or you have permission on new home or whatever, right? Like you can, it follows the same format. And the obvious point I will make here is whatever bait you put out is what you're going to attract. So if you want new construction home buyers looking in the $500,000 to $700,000 price range, like that's the bait you should be using, especially if you're going to do paid advertising, especially if you're going to put some money behind it. And so listings to lead makes it easier to implement the ads. And then that is the first thing that we're transitioning over our buyer activity to with Smarties CRM is we're going to do the follow-up in that CRM just because we're finding A, it's got the chat bot built in, and B, just a little bit better functionality, deliverability, etc. Especially on the
Hey,
email
Josh,
side.
are you sending the link from API? Because I know Listing to Leads does that. Are you taking the API to send it to Smarties or to send it to KB Core, or are you just manually doing it?
Mike, I don't know. We literally today or tomorrow, we're doing the first one through that process.
He's got a great way to do it if you ask him.
Smarty.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can do it without having to use Zap or like, you can do it without having to use an additional tool. Yeah.
I'm just finding it's really hard when you're putting them in Listing to Leads and you're getting the hits there, then you're having to go to 5 or 6 different places you're having to go to Facebook and you're having to go to Listing to Leads and you're having to go to KB Core to do everything. And that's one of the challenges I'm running into.
Anybody else on this before I'm going to say 2 more things. Oh, James, go ahead.
Oh, you said your photographers will do a floor plan. Is anybody or Josh, are you using anything else, any other technology?
Cubicasa will do it if you have that app.
What is it?
Cubicasa. I'll put it in the link.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
that
I didn't
one.
know how to
I'm
spell
the one that answered, you know, the Cubicasa that your board may have.
I haven't used that yet, but that is something available in Bright.
Oh, maybe my MLS does that.
Yeah, maybe it's possible.
It's included in Houston and HAR no charge.
Nice. Nice. So a couple more things on this front. Harry, I'll get to you in a second. A couple more things on this front. Don't, like, if you don't want to sign up for listings to leads, just don't put any link and say, DM me for more details and send them the MLS link or send them the KV Core link. There's more than one way to slice this. I would say that the big rocks in this are just posting, right? Post a listing a week, maybe two, right? Every Tuesday and Thursday or whatever, or every Wednesday and Friday. And then where I have found the most, where I've gotten the actual clients is through Facebook Messenger conversations that then turn into actual conversations, right? That's the reality. Like you're not going to, that's where the money's at. And when people message me asking if it's still available or wanting more info, I almost always will voice memo or video message them back so that it becomes more personable. But you got it. It's like anything. You gotta, you can improve your skill to improve your reply rate, but you're gonna have to sift and sort through some that are just tire kickers or not qualified or as motivated as we might like them to be. Harry.
Morning. How are you?
Morning. Good. How are you?
Good. I had a couple of questions, quick ones. First, I had tried doing coming soon with listings to leads before, and my memory is that you have to, once it goes live and bright and that sort of connection is made, do you have to go, you have two separate entries at that point. Is that correct?
Yeah. You got to go delete the coming soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure.
You don't have to, but at some point it makes sense to do that.
Right. And that photo branding app, can you use that to for pictures that are not necessarily of houses? And can you put your like logo in there? Or is it only text in a band like that? Or do you know?
I think it's just that that text call to action at the top, right?
Yeah, it is. It's just that text call to action.
Beyond that, I would just use Canva. And honestly, it wouldn't take that much longer to just use Canva. We just started using that before we had a pro Canva account, I think, maybe.
Okay.
So I don't know. There's no real magic in it. I just share it because it's free. It's easy to use. But if you've got Canva, which by the way, EXPers out there, in the next couple weeks, we all get a Canva Pro account as part of our monthly fee. Mike, I'll have to deactivate our current paid one. Not like we're paying a lot, but it all adds up. But that was one thing that they announced at the general session on Monday morning.
So does that mean that we'll be able to take all, because I have lots of stuff on Canva. If you go to the EXP one, is all that going to just disappear, or is there a way to migrate them over?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that, but we'll have to look at that as well, because we literally have a lot of things that we have to.
Yeah. Not that any of my graphics are great, but there is a lot of work, a little blood, sweat, and tears in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Good.
Okay.
Good question. I didn't think
Thanks.
of that, but time will tell. Time will tell.
Hi, I got two questions. One is related to when you put the Facebook group in there. Tell me, you've gone to these Facebook groups and got permission.
Yes, I've joined them.
Yes, you joined them. And is there, when they say no advertisement, what is the guide that you're seeing that the ones who let you do it and ones that don't?
The ones that I join are explicitly for selling stuff, right? Like buy and sell, yard sale, garage sale, etc. Now they do, some of them you literally just hit join and you're a member.
Mhm.
Some of them you have to answer questions. Like some of them, at least in my local area, they'll say like, where do you live? Why do you want to join the group? Whatever. It's usually 1, 2, or 3 questions. There's so many of them though. If you get thrown out of one or whatever, or banned from one, who cares? There's so many. of them.
Right. And what is your guide on that? Are you joining groups with a certain number of people?
I would say look for ones first and foremost where there are more people.
Mhm.
If you're gonna do the work, you might as well find some that are more likely to have folks. So if you go to facebook.com/groups and then discover, I think, it's been a while since I've searched, but you can search, like, I'll just type in Harrisburg, PA. I think we should get some results from that. And then just look for, some have a couple of hundred, some have a couple of thousand, some have tens of thousands.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Okay.
this one, Midtown Harrisburg, there aren't even 14,000 people that live in Midtown Harrisburg. Now they have 14,000 members, right? And there's two of them, that are Midtown Harrisburg that have, one has 12,000, one has 14,000. Yeah, as far as I know, there's no limit to the number of groups you can join. But I would prioritize ones that have more members, or maybe even finding, like, this one has 10,000 members, but only 3 posts a day. But this one is specifically, now this one is specifically events. However, an open house is an event. So maybe that may be one where you don't post just your regular listings, but if you've got one that's got it where you're doing an open house, maybe that's a workaround.
Okay, and good stuff. And then this is my last question, but when you are posting, you got your Facebook marketplace, you got all of the different groups you're posting in. Are you then, what does your process look like when people are responding, not like by the Facebook Messenger method? Are you going every day and going through to see if they gave a post, or are you going responded? Like I'm seeing, like,
how often am I checking my Facebook Messenger?
Yeah, and are you?
I'll check in a couple of times a day. Like I'll check in early in the morning. I'll check in around lunchtime, and I'll check in before dinner or after dinner.
Okay.
It's not like I'm not tethered to it.
Yeah. Okay.
And I will check in and reply. And I think the easiest for me is a voice memo. I just think,
I like that idea. Yep.
they hear your voice. They can understand your tonality, right?
I like it.
And so, for those that are wondering, I try to keep it to 30 seconds or less.
Okay.
And I convey some type of benefit to get them to respond. You'll get people that just, they hit the, is this available button, right? It is available. Would you like me to send you all the pictures, floor plans, and disclosures? If so, just let me know below. Also, I'd be happy to put together a list, a curated list of properties that fit the price range and criteria that you're looking for. If you let me know below, I'm happy to do that. No cost or obligation whatsoever.
Awesome.
Something along those lines. But you want to say something that encourages them. You want to create some expectation of them to respond back.
Okay. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yep. And voice
Josh,
memo video is
and-
not, required, but I just found that it makes it more personable.
Hey,
somebody
Josh,
was-
no, I was going to say the listing to leads, you can get your lender to sign up for it and they can put 50 agents on.
the lender plan is the cost and structure and so forth of that is different. And I think there are some limitations to that. So you can put agents on, but then those agents are limited to how many listings they can put. Check that out, explore it, but there are some limitations and some things that you might, if you're a producer, you might run up against.
Hey, Francine, can you repeat that?
Yeah. So listing to leads, you can get the lender to sign up for it and they can there's a plan that they can sign up 50 agents. So I talked one of mine into doing it and I have all the functionality and I think I have 20 listings.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Cool. Thank you.
Where do you use this phone number? I'm just going through the questions in here. Okay. I want to share, there's one other thing that I thought I'd share just because I had somebody ask and I figured why not answer publicly here so that everyone can benefit. I created and posted a reel yesterday with about a program, a buy before you sell program. It's a lender and company that's like a symbiotic relationship that we have with Nexa, with one of our lenders. And we've closed, I don't know, 4 or 5 of these over the last 12 to 15 months. This program, I have our account executive with this company coming on in 2 weeks to go over this program because I think it's a wonderful way for you to overcome objections that you may be incurring or coming up against when talking about people that are thinking about trading up or trading down. But So 2 weeks, he's going to be on, but that's not the point isn't necessarily the program. I had somebody ask, how did I make this and post it? So Mike, if you can grab we've got like a end-to-end training that is open and free to everyone on creating short form video content, but I thought I would talk through how I made this one. So I recorded the intro and the outro where I'm talking live to camera just on my phone. Okay. They were like 5 seconds each. One was 5 seconds, one was 7 seconds. I created in Canva 4 slides. I'm going to just make this bigger here.
Our exclusive buy before you sell program, you can buy your new home now and sell your current home with complete peace of mind.
Get one. So I used Canva to create these images. It's 1080 by 1920, 1080 by 1920. It's 4 different images. And so I created those in Canva. I dropped them to my phone. I went on Facebook. I said, create a reel. I chose camera. I chose green screen. And I recorded. And if you notice,
We get you approved in 24 hours or less. Step.
I also intentionally made it so that each slide I'm talking about, my head is in a different place. Just because it creates a little bit of movement and interest. So that, I don't know, there's all this data that if you watch television or video content, like good engaging video content cuts a lot, right? Like it's not the same sort of monotone or the same view all the time, right? Even if it's an interview, like they may cut to a different angle, right? Or it's a far away shot and then they cut where it's closer. I recorded these.
We help you make it.
In the Facebook Reels app, and then I downloaded it before posting. Okay, so I recorded my intro and outro on my phone. I made the images. I recorded them as green screen in Facebook. I downloaded that. I went to CapCut, and I just used the free version of CapCut. Okay, CapCut, CAPCUT. All of this is in the training that we've got available for you. But somebody asked, and so I figured I'd dig into it again. I went to CapCut. I went and selected, I basically had 3 clips. I had the intro, this clip, and then the outro. So I put it into CapCut. I tweaked it to make sure that there wasn't, I'm notorious for like hitting the button and saying, or just having dead space. So I try and clip it so that there's as little dead air as possible, right? So it's usually like literally 0.2 of a second, right? But that little bit can make a difference, right? So I went to CapCut, I cleaned that up and I exported it. And then I used the Captions app. Captions, CAPTIONS. Captions app. Now that I do pay for, it's $8 a month, but it's really great. So I uploaded the video and that's where I've got these captions that populate. And it's got a bunch of different styles and stuff. So you upload it there, you say, make the captions, you export it. Now I've got my reel ready to actually post. Okay. I uploaded it to, I think I uploaded it on Instagram, or maybe I put it on Facebook, but it cross-posted to Instagram. Either way, like you can set it up so that you only have to upload it in one of those places and it'll post both of those. And then I shared it as a reel, and I have boosted this one from my personal Facebook profile. Today, I haven't done this yet because I like to let it live on Facebook and Instagram first. And then today, I'll post it on YouTube. I'll post it on TikTok. I'll post it on Twitter. I'll post it on LinkedIn. I think that's it.
Google business page.
Google Business. Now, you can't upload the video directly unless it's 30 seconds or less. I screwed up, and this one's like 37. So the way I'll post it on my Google Business listing is once it's uploaded and live as a YouTube short, I'll take the short and I'll post that as an update on my Google Business listing. And that also creates a backlink to the YouTube short, which is, it helps organic traffic. I try to keep these to an hour or less, and I have something that I have to head out for. If you have any follow-up questions or anything that we can do for you, etc., please let us know. You can reach out directly. You can comment in the group, etc. We will get the replay, the recording of this out and available to everyone as soon as possible. We've been pretty good about getting those out the next morning. And all of the resources, right? Because there was a couple of docs that we shared, a training that we shared, etc. For those of you that want to have that close at hand to help with implementation. I thank you all, truly. Thank you all for being here. These are so much more interesting and engaging when we've got a nice crowd. So I hope you got something from this. Don't try and implement everything. Pick one, maybe two things, and implement this afternoon or tomorrow morning. And next week, we're going to have Scott Pierce with Listings to Leads. Hopefully he's, that was a one-time rarity. He was really under the weather. So we've got him coming next week. And then we've got our account executive for the Buy Before You Sell program coming in 2 weeks. Make it a great rest of the week, everybody. If you're in the Northeast, the weather is glorious for this time of year. So live it up and hopefully see you then.